Hey guys, I'm going to go over some of your affixes that you have in your Week 3 literacy packet. There's some directions on how to put together a notebook. A couple of things I want to say about this paper. One of the things I've talked to you guys about is how there are more, there are something called affixes. Affixes are things you add to words to change the meaning of the words. So you can add them to the beginning of the word or to the end of a word. Now, this paper that was given to us says suffixes, and from my understanding, suffixes actually are put onto the end of root words. And I always tell my kids they suffer because they're at the end all the time. So those are the suffixes. But then when I look at my journal itself, I see prefixes. So prefixes go at the beginning of words, not the ends of words, to change the meaning of a root word. So for example, like unhappy, you put at the beginning of happy to turn it into unhappy, which the word none or the prefix none means not or the opposite of. Okay, so unhappy is actually a prefix, not a suffix, because it comes at the beginning of words, not the end of words. Something that would come at the end of a word would be like ness, as in happiness. The ness in happiness is a suffix. So we're going to change this. Okay, we're going to make this say prefix. So I'm going to cross off the SUF, and I'm going to put PRE above it. Prefixes. Okay, so that's pretty easy. So change that from suffix to prefix, because these are prefixes. The prefixes that we are looking at, upside down here, are un, re, over, miss, and sub. Okay, I'm sure we're gonna do an activity with these. We're gonna follow our directions. It says cut on the lines to create 5 flaps. Cut on the lines to create 5 flaps. So what I did was I cut my square out all the way. And then I'm going to use my scissors to cut these lines to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flaps. So I'm going to cut each line. Now I'm not going to cut all the way across, and I'm not going to cut them off. I want them to flap, like open and close, okay? So I'm just going to cut those lines like this. See? It's like flappy, okay? So do that. So you should have 5 little flaps, and I just cut to this line and then I stopped. So now I could take this entire page. I'm going to take my spiral notebook or whatever journal book you have at home. Here's my journal notebook. So I'm going to open it up to my page, my first page that is empty. And then I'm going to take this part and I am going to glue it on to my journal. So you might have to use tape, you might have to use glue, however you decide to do it works. So I have some glue. I'm only going to put glue on this side. I am not putting glue on the flaps, okay? So when I glue it in my book, I want these to come up, but I want this part to stay on, okay? So I'm going to put my glue just on that square part. And it doesn't need to be a ton of glue, just enough to make it stick in your book. So I don't know if you can see it. There's glue. Okay. Make sure I have it the right way. And now it's glued in. Okay. Then the directions say, write examples of words with each prefix, they have it correct here, with each prefix under the flap. You can also write sentences with the words under the flap. And then you use these prefixes to help you figure out the meaning of words. So if there's a word you don't know, If you find the root word, you can see what the root word means, and then you can add the prefix. How does that change the word? And then you'll know what that word means. So I'm just going to do one example. Underneath un, I'm going to fold it back. I'm going to write as many un words as I can think of, but that could go on forever. So I'm just going to do a few. So unhappy, unbelievable, unsuccessful, unbearable. Okay, and then I'm going to leave space. I'm going to write a sentence. It says you can also write sentences with the words under the flap. So I'm just going to choose one of my words. I'm going to choose unbearable. Okay, and I'm going to make a sentence using unbearable. So not teaching and seeing my students is unbearable. Okay. So not teaching and seeing my students is unbearable. So bearable means you can deal with it. Unbearable means you cannot deal with it. So I have a hard time dealing with it, which is why I'm making these videos for you guys. So I hope you like them. Click like and subscribe. That's what they always say on these videos. That's how you do your journal. So you're going to do that for each one of your prefixes. Remember, these are also an affix. A suffix is an affix as well. Okay, this is a prefix. Suffixes go at the end of words. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye.